What's this? I'm going to ask one AI to build me 4 completely different little apps, a tip calculator, a countdown timer, a to-do list, and a color palette generator. And instead of building them slowly, one after another, watch what it does. It splits itself into a whole team of 4 and builds every one of them at the exact same time, in parallel. 4 apps, 4 AI workers, all at once, and I never write a single line of code. This is Claude Code's secret weapon. It's called Subagents, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And I promise this is going to feel like a genuine superpower once it clicks. Even if you have never written a line of code in your life, because this one trick is the whole difference between an AI that plots through your to-do list one single item at a time, and an AI that spins up an entire team and knocks the whole thing out at once. So let me show you from a completely empty folder exactly how it works. So here's how it normally works. When you give an AI a big job that has a bunch of separate parts, it does them one at a time. It finishes the first, then it starts the second, then the third, which is totally fine for small stuff. But for a big job it gets slow, and honestly, the AI can get a little overwhelmed trying to juggle every single detail of everything all at the same time in its head. Subagents fix both of those problems at once. So let me just show you. I'm in Claude Code inside a completely empty folder, and I type my request out in plain English. Build me these 4 little apps, a calculator, a timer, a to-do list, and a color tool. And here's the important part. Use a separate subagent to build each one, all at the same time, one sentence. That is the entire thing. And watch what it does. Instead of rolling up its own sleeves and grinding through them one by one, it does something much smarter. It has a team. Right there on the screen, it spins up 4 separate little agents. Think of them as 4 assistants, and it hands each one a single app to go and build. 4 workers, 4 jobs, and they all start at the very same moment. And this right here is the magic. Look at it, all 4 agents are running in parallel at the same time. This one's building the calculator, this one's on the timer, this one's doing the to-do list, this one's on the colors, and none of them are waiting around for the others. It is literally like I hired 4 developers and they all started typing at the exact same second. A job that would have taken 4 rounds is happening in one. And moments later, the whole team is done, and here are all 4 finished apps. A tip calculator that actually does the math. A countdown timer that really counts down. A to-do list I can add things to and check right off. And a color tool that spins up fresh palettes. 4 separate, genuinely working apps, built by a team, all at the same time. And I didn't write one single line of any of them. So in plain terms, that is what a subagent is. It's a helper that Claude Code spins up to handle just one piece of a bigger job on its own, while the others handle theirs. Each one gets its own clean little workspace and its own single focus. So it isn't distracted by everyone else's work, and they all run side by side, in parallel. A team of focused workers instead of one person doing everything in a single line. And it is not only about speed, although the speed is fantastic, because each agent works in its own separate space. The main AI never gets its head cluttered with all the messy little details of every single task. It just gets back 4 clean finished results. So on big complicated jobs, it actually stays sharper and makes fewer mistakes. It's faster and clearer at the very same time. You can use this for so much more than just building apps. You could say, go research these 5 topics for me, 1 agent each, and it fans right out and does all 5 at once. Or, review my whole project from 4 different angles at the same time. Anywhere a big job breaks apart into independent pieces, you just tell it to use a team of subagents, and it goes wide instead of slow. And there is basically no limit to it. 4 agents, 10 agents, a whole little swarm of them, each one off doing its own piece while you sit back and watch the whole thing come together. Once you start thinking in terms of what could a team do here, instead of just one worker, you start handing Claude Code bigger and bigger jobs, and it just handles them. So here's the whole idea in one simple picture, and it truly never changes. You give Claude Code one big job. Instead of doing it alone, one step at a time, it splits that job into pieces, hands each piece to its own little agent, and they all work at once. One request goes in, a whole team fans out, and finished results come back. Which means the next time you've got a job with a bunch of separate parts, a few pages to build, a list of things to look up, a whole project to check over, don't make the AI crawl through it one at a time. Just tell it to spin up a team of subagents and do it all at once. Same plain English, same empty folder, you just start thinking a little bit bigger. I put out one of these every couple of days, real things done with AI, no code, just by talking to it, all explained for total beginners. So if you want to keep leveling up how you use this stuff, subscribe and stick around for the next one finds you. And tell me down in the comments, what big job would you hand off to a team of agents? See you in the next one.